Hello, Internet. This is JF, and I suck at ATS. Now, what you're looking at is on the left, just an old web browser, and on the right, some ATS code that compiles to JS, to JavaScript. That's what it has. Like, instead of loading like the normal libraries, it's loading this, ATCC to JS library, and it has JS array that are composed of ints and so on for types. Now this is all very, very raw stuff. So like this is I'm exporting a factorial function which is defined in the web page now. So if you look at it, yeah, that's what it looks like compiled, and you can run it and gives you JavaScript type answers. And I have a fact2 function that produces a JS array of ints. So let's see, fact2 10. This is old. This is old. Wait, let me refresh and see if I get it. So it used to be called fact from. There it is. No, it's not. Network. Table cache. Okay, well, I'm pushing this up to some hosting that has like a lot of caching in front of it. So I'm consistently getting old source. And that's going to be a little bit annoying. So I'm probably going to have to like set up separate hosting or push to like a local web server instead. But the old version looked like this. The same exact thing, just I had a different name for it. It gives you the first 10 factorials. That's from this function right here, which is, it starts out by creating an empty array or an empty JavaScript array of type int, and then it loops over and it pushes stuff onto it. It pushes the new ints onto the array. Then I also have some stuff related to Mithril. So Mithril is a small library similar to it has like a DOM efficiency stuff. So it has a virtual DOM and it does diffing between your updates and a copy of the DOM that it maintains in order to optimize the updates to the DOM. It's basically the same as ncurses, and it's the same stuff that makes React and Elm and lots of other stuff good. This technique is essential to having like efficient DOM updates. Normally, like accessing the DOM is very, very slow. So most of Mithril is done through the m function, which you use to create elements of the DOM. So use m and then a p to create the whatever that p element's called. And then this is where I'd put like attributes. So I'm just creating an empty array, an empty object here. And then this is a JavaScript array that's a single, so it has one element, and that element is a string. And since I said that everything had to be vnodes, I have a cast function here. So I'm saying just turn this string into a vnode. That has no actual runtime cost. It's just sort of getting ATS to accept what I'm doing here. Because the actual fun says the string, which is the name of an element, and then an object which is the attributes, and then the children of the element. Now this obviously is not great. Like, I mean, this is good. Like if I can build on this, I can make like a complex web app entirely in this, and it'd be really fast because of what Mythil's doing. However, like if I had like a typo or something weird here, it wouldn't help me with it. And really, if you're going to be building a virtual DOM, you may as well also have like types and have it kind of help you out. So I'd rather do something like p or DOM p or something like that, or LMP, or to have Mithril catch bugs for me and do some extra checking. Sorry, in order to have ATS catch stuff for me, do extra checking. The output should be exactly the same as this. And then I also have a function mountain mine. I think that should be here. Why? Parent. Screen, some view. This is all working, but like I said, I'm getting cached versions now, so it's messed up. So I'll fix that in a later video. But for now, I just wanted to show you this because this isn't like it isn't Elm. Like if you go look at Elm and see what they have, their stuff is really, really cool. This isn't there, but this is what we would need to get there. Like getting there from here, I think is not that much of a travel in terms of, if you know ATS and you want to produce something, you can do it, and it'll be pretty efficient and not that bad. we have all the extra stuff like real-time debugger or time-traveling debugger. No, but we'll have it. And this is supported by just a small HTML page, produces a screen, and it does this thing in startup. Then it loads the integer and JS array libraries from the copy that I have there. And then the idea is whenever I make changes, so let's see, let's add a function and then have it not work because of the caching that's messing me up. Say an array of strings. No, just string. All right, then I go over here to make. It builds and actually fails because I did something wrong here. That is totally wrong. That's not what return types look like in ATS. And when it succeeds in building it, so it does it does pads ops. It does all of the ATS like type checking, and that produces a C file, and then it converts the C file to a JavaScript file. And then when that actually succeeds, I go into a parent directory where I have a bunch of stuff set up, and I sync it over. So it's just like rsync and exclude a bunch of stuff and copy it to the server that I have, which is in my SSH config. It's just min, so I don't have to give a whole bunch of details here. I don't even need this. I don't need that there, actually. Anyway, that SSH sits over, that rsyncs it over, and updates whatever needs to be updated. In this case, it's just the hello.js. Let's see if I actually did it. Fact2, nope. So it's not going to have hello world. Yeah, it doesn't. No, actually, it's hello, isn't it? What the hell? What did I call that? Fact. Oh, wow. Okay, so it was actually working this entire time. I just never changed what I was telling it to call it in JavaScript. So fact2 actually is fact from, and hello world works just fine. So then not mine, that must be something I just introduced. Parent dependent child is not a function. Is that because I changed screen? ID screen? I'm not actually sure what it doesn't like about this. So this render is just I'm taking screen here, which is the an element ID, and then some view, which is the output of this function, which is a bunch of mithril stuff or vnodes. I should render that to that. For some reason, this was working just before, and I changed something right before I started that actually made it break. So before I was calling it, I had like a P, I had this up here. I never actually used that, so I had a div down here. And this one's ID stuff. Oh, look, no, that's a typo I just made just now. It's not in fact a problem. Maybe screen is reserved. Maybe I'm conflicting. Maybe there's a conflict there. I probably can't use that as an ID. Yeah, see, this isn't updated. This is not updated. So the caching really is a problem. All right, well, I can do this. Stuff, some view. It's not defined. elements by tag name. Let's get HTML, get the first one. There we go. So we've rendered the output of that function over the HTML. So there's only be one element here now. This debugger's a little bit screwed up. That's the way I have it set up. I can't actually see all the elements there, but it should just be only the entire page has been replaced with just this one P element on top of the HTML. Anyway, that's it. So yeah, with ATS we can produce JavaScript, and you can work with other libraries. You can work with other frameworks like the Mythical framework I'm trying to work with here. And you can produce web apps. So right now we're producing like nothing. This is like a single render and then some functions that aren't interesting. But in the future, I'll show off something a little bit cooler than this.